You didn't lose the real you. You just buried her under proving. You keep thinking you drifted from yourself somehow. But actually, the truth is a little bit deeper than that. She never left. You just got tired of earning your own worth. And I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. There's a moment that every woman hits. You've done everything right. You followed the rules. You became the strong one, the cycle breaker. You've kept the peace. You've checked the boxes. You've been the matriarch. You stayed available. You stayed capable. And you still felt off. Not because you failed or somehow aren't enough or unworthy, but because the version of you that kept everything running wasn't the real you. She was just the one that got you through. She's not the one who lets you live. See, the survival you and the real you are not synonymous. Here's the gap you've been sitting in, the tension that you've been feeling. So you want the real you back, right? But the only you that you know is the one who earned, proved, performed, had to protect, been vigilant, and you've had to hold everything together. That's the only you know. But your mind says, well, I'm ready. And your body says, I don't know how. And that's the exact moment where the return begins. Not when you try harder, but when you stop gripping performance as your identity. When you stop using vigilance as your identity. You don't have to find her through more discipline. She actually emerges when you stop proving, when you stop performing to keep the peace. You know what I'm talking about. See, I know that place very well. There was a season where I kept evolving. I was healing, growing, releasing repeatedly. And I still felt a quiet ache I couldn't name. I reached new levels and felt a heaviness that didn't match the success I was having. I did everything quote unquote right. And I still felt slightly out of place in my own life. I was a passenger in my own life. I thought something was missing in me. I thought I'd healed enough, fought enough, passed enough tests, learned the lessons. I thought I just needed just one more shift, just one more breakthrough, just one more step, and I'll reach it. I'll be fulfilled. It'll fix everything. But really, I wasn't missing anything. I was just performing a version of myself that was never meant to carry my future. I'm going to say that again. I was just performing a version of myself that was never meant to carry my full, lovely, glorious future. The real me was still there though, just waiting for me to stop proving I deserved the life I had already earned. So if you feel off, even after doing everything right, it's because you're outgrowing the version of you who survived. Here's what I discovered on my journey that most won't say. See, love, you didn't disappear. You adapted. You became who you needed to be to stay loved, to stay safe, to stay chosen, to stay stable. Your worth got tied to achievement because that's when people treated you better. Let's be honest. Your identity got tied to performance because that's when life felt less chaotic. Your confidence got tied to discipline because slowing down felt dangerous. So of course you checked every box. Of course you over-delivered. Of course you stayed strong and super resilient long after strength stopped being strength and became armor. You weren't trying to impress anyone. You were just trying to survive. And here's the truth. You can't return to yourself as long as you're guarding the version that kept you alive. You can't return to yourself as long as you are guarding, protecting the version of you that has kept you alive. And I know it sounds like an oxymoron, and I know it feels off, it feels weird, it feels wrong, because that version got you through some things, through hell and high water. That version have broken generational curses and cycles and mindsets. That version have helped you get through some things. But as long as you keep guarding that version, you will never return to the real you, the you that you are supposed to be, the you that is soft and tender and wise and allowed to rest and is allowed to be and is allowed to be strong and sovereign and just be you. Here's the shift that matters most. And I'll dare to say it. See, the real you is the one who doesn't have to earn her own presence. The real you is quieter, steadier, slower, softer. Not because she's passive, but because she no longer is proving anything to anyone, not even herself, not even those ghosts of people from her past. See, the real you is not the woman fighting for self-worth beyond achievement. She is the one who knows worth never needed achievement in the first place. The off feeling wasn't emptiness. It was misalignment. That friction and tension between who you were and who you are now, that discomfort, that's the doorway, my dear. That's not a breakdown. It's the moment before the return. Think of yourself like a room with the lights off. You didn't vanish. You weren't destroyed. You were still there. The light was just off because you were busy doing what survival required. Achievement flipped the switch off. Proving dimmed the room. Discipline kept you functional, not full, not fulfilled, not whole. But the wiring was always intact. The return isn't turning you into someone new. No, it's just flipping the switch back on. Not by force, not by stopping the habits that kept the lights off. She wasn't gone. She was covered. Hear me when I say, the version of you that's returning right now, right here, is not fragile, not lost, not behind. She is the one who finally stopped shrinking to make other people comfortable. She is the one who doesn't measure her worth in tasks, roles, or outcomes. She is free to allow her depths to be shown. She is the one who shows up without earning her own presence. You don't need to beat her into submission. You don't need to discipline to find her. You need honesty. Like real honesty, the deep and raw kind. The kind that says, I'm done proving myself to rooms I've already outgrown. See, the real you didn't go anywhere. You just stopped hearing her under the noise of doing everything right. You got lost in the sauce. And now that noise is fading and she's rising again. And if this spoke to you, to that part of you that feels off, feels empty, feels frustrated, feels like, if I only can get this or do that, even after checking all the boxes, use the paired SoulFire Soundscape for this episode to help your body settle into who you've always been. And if you want more SoulFires that speak to your real return, the you who never left, the you who've always been underneath survival, the you who's ready to return her, then subscribe and turn on your notifications so you'll never miss the next one. You didn't find yourself. You remembered yourself and who you truly are. And she's amazing to see.